Hey guys, AscendantGod here. Envelope. Here with Raid Shadow Legends. Just wanted to touch on something really quick. Since the, I don't know which patch it was, it's not the 1.11, I don't believe, maybe 1.10, where there was a modification to artifact leveling, where you could go to the upgrade and instead of just doing one upgrade here on this right hand side, you can actually pick now what level you want to upgrade up to. I don't know how you guys thought you were going to get away with it over there at Plarium without us noticing, but I don't understand why you think all your players are idiots. We're not idiots, especially most of your whales, unless it's spoiled little brats, we're actually quite intelligent. And we keep track of what goes on in the game, especially when there's those of us who spend a ton of money on this freaking game, with how much you gouge us. With that said, it's really insulting that you gave a silent nerf to artifact leveling for no reason at all. Like, it was already horrible enough as it was. There was already tons of complaints about it, but then, well, I shouldn't say no reason at all. It's clear as day that you guys did it to try to make an extra buck. It's actually doing the opposite. I have a lot of clan members that are really, really frustrated with the nerf to the artifacts and then faction wars coming into play without extra increased storage space, the vault being horrible where you can't sort by faction, you can't see the factions, it's not transparent, the inventory itself being all messed up, and then now the silent nerf to artifacts. We know clear as day, it is blatantly obvious with how much you modified the decreased chance to level up artifacts that it was a huge nerf. It's clear that we're not stupid. So I wanted to touch on that today because just to kind of show you here what's going on. Alright, so you see I got 4.5 million coins here. Alright, that's quite a bit of coins. It takes quite a while to earn those. Alright, I mean, this was basically farming all overnight from auto farming, the dungeon, and then I sold off a bunch of artifacts, so that's quite a bit of work, 4.5 million. Alright, let me put it this way. I saw a sale the other day. Of course, like, since it was an artifact enhancement event, they of course want to try to gouge you on coins, and so they were selling a pack of 5 million coins for $25. Okay, so you look at, it was basically a little bit more than what I have right now, with 4.5, so I have, you know, it's 500,000 short of that. But let's say it's close to that. It's going to be a little bit short, but let's look at how far that actually gets you. Alright, so you look at this gloves here, it's a crit rate glove, it's for faction wars, it's one of my stronger groups, it's on AFR for the Sacred Order, that's one of my best factions right now that I'm running with. So, I want to max out his crit rate on here on the gloves for some extra damage. Alright, so I'm going to go up to level 16. Now these aren't the greatest, I mean it has 12% attack, which is decent, 3% crit damage, which is alright, and it's only 4 stars though, but I don't have any particularly spectacular cruel gear, mainly because the drops for them have been horrible. I know they supposedly increased the drop rate for 6-star artifacts on Ultra Nightmare recently, and since I farmed that, I'm hoping to see more 6-star. Actually, any 6-star. I've never seen a 6-star Immortal or Cruel yet to date. In all the time that I've been playing, I've never once seen one drop from Nightmare, and then even in the times that I've been farming Ultra Nightmare, which has been a good handful of times already over the last like month or so. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and try to enhance this. So it's already at level 13, so I already put probably, I would say at least 500,000-600,000 into it. Probably more than that with how bad the rate is right now. So let's see how much it costs to go from 13 to 16 here. So I was at 4.5. And another thing too, guys, I mean, since I am, you know, just talking about the things that you guys are doing wrong and the things that are really ticking off your players here, for the love of God, get rid of that annoying clink noise. Like, it is the bane of our existence. When you hear that clink, there is nothing worse. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Like, it's basically rubbing it in your face that you just got shafted, just got shafted, just got shafted, just got shafted. I mean, we know, it's like it's not leveling up. Like, just make it, rather than it doing this clink, 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 like, just, you spend X amount of coins to level up to the next one. Like, this is just annoying. I mean, it's time consuming, it's annoying, it's frustrating. Look at how long it's going. Just at 14, how many times it's failed. Oh, actually went finally. Alright, so I already spent 500,000 to get those 2 levels there. From 13 to 15, I already spent 500,000 coins now. More than 500,000 now. sure this is going to keep going for a while. And I've had much worse than this too. This is actually a good run so far, but we'll see how long it takes to get to the 16. So it's already run on about almost 200, yeah, 200,000 now here. So 300,000 because it was at like 4.1 I think when I was at 15. So now it's going to be running on 400,000 coins just to go from 15 to 16. Now we're going to be going on 500,000 coins. Still fail, 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 just for one stinking level. Oh, finally. Okay, so it was about 600,000 coins just, excuse me, here. Alright, so about 600,000 coins to go from 15 to 16 there. Altogether, 1 million coins just to go from 13 to 16 on one artifact. One artifact. Alright, so take that in consideration as well, from 13 to 16. And prior to that, like I said, I probably spent about 500,000. So we're looking at like 1.5 million in maxed out a piece. Alright, so I'm going to give another example here, because I do have a couple other pieces that I want to max out. So I think it's on Tyrell. Tyrell's one of my clan boss champions. I didn't max out this system because he doesn't benefit from attack at all. But it has some decent stats on this now, other than resistance. I mean, the crit damage, crit rate, and hit points, all useful. I mean, obviously anything other than resistance would be great here. So this is at level 12. We're at 3.583. So let's see how much it costs to go from 12 to 16 here. Now 12 used to not be too bad to get to. It was one that wasn't brutal, and it was reasonable at first when Faction Wars first came out, but then since the nerf, like even getting up to 12, it's like we get gouged. Like absolutely gouged. It's brutal now. It's absolutely brutal, and this is not something that's going to sell more coins. It's going to sell less coins, because we're going to go, why the heck would we pay $25 for 500,000 coins when all that it's going to do is get like an artifact from like 13 to 15, or if I'm really lucky, maybe 13 to 16 for one artifact. And especially with Faction Wars now, with how many champions we need to max out gear on, it's insane. So, alright, we went from 12 to 13, and we're going on 500,000 coins here just for one stinking level. And still haven't gotten to the next level yet. Over 500,000 coins already, just to try to level it up a second level. This is insane. Like, do you guys actually, is anybody of the developers over there that are scam people, like, do you guys actually look at what goes on, like, when you do these nerfs, like, how low the probabilities are now? Like, you should have at least done it in small increments gradually over the course of weeks or months. Not a huge nerf within one patch, because it was clear as day. Maybe if you did it gradually over the course of months, like slowly nerfed the rate down, maybe you could have pulled the wool over our eyes. But, I mean, to do this dramatic of a nerf that quickly, no. Okay, so it was at 12. It's already at 15. This is actually better than usual here. I'm surprised. This is much better than usual. We go from 12 to 15. Spent over 1 million coin already. So that would have been, according to, oh, it's just insane. I mean, according to how much you farm and everything, I mean, that's over 1 million now. Over 1 million just to get from 12 to 15. Or I should say, trying to get to 16 here. Because we started this at about like 3.5. So well over 1 million now, working towards 1.5 million just for 4 levels on one piece of gear. And now you got to consider too, like how many champions we have these days that, you know, you have to level up for Faction Wars. I mean, there's, what is it, 12 different factions, 5 champions per faction minimum, and that's assuming you have a great team. But like even with like what Plarium stated, crit damage, well that's good at least. So, alright, so, started at 3.5 at 1.7, so that's like what, I want to say like 1.7 million? Because 1.5 would have been 2 million coins, so like 1.7 million coins here, actually 1.8, close to 1.8. About 1.8 million coins I just spent going from 12 to 16. 1.8 million coins Do you understand that, Plarium? Do you understand that? Do you know how much time it takes to go for 1.5 million coins, farm that? Now, I was going to give an example of another champion, but I started to and I realized, like, I went from 3.5 million coins down to 1.3. I think I finished before, like, with about 1.5 before I started leveling up some other stuff, but I just decided I'm not going to max it out. It's not worth it with how much coins cost. So, 2 pieces of gear, 2 million coins, over 2 million coins. Well, really, I guess about 2 million. So I started about 3.5. I ended up at about 1.5, or, well, really like 1.4, I think. So almost 2 million coins to bring one piece of gear from level 13 to 16 and another piece of gear from 12 to 16. All right, so you're looking at, okay, that was 2 million just for those two. All right, so that means that with that 5 million, the coins that I said $25 for 5 million coins. All right, so let's say 2 million just to bring the average gear, let's say from 12 to 16. All right, for the sake of argument, I'm going to give Plarium the benefit of the doubt and say it started at 12 instead of 13. All right, so basically you would get 2.5 pieces of gear from 12 to 16 for that $25. Okay, like, you really need to pay attention to this, Plarium. This is why your players are frustrated. This is why people quit. This is why people stop making the effort on Faction Wars. Faction Wars was a great step in the right direction. I love Faction Wars. I hate the nerfs that you've done in the process. I hate the inventory storage. I hate the vault. There's a lot of things that I can't stand, and like there's some things you guys have done where it was steps in the right direction finally, and Faction Wars was great, and I commend you guys for that. I do want to give credit where credit's due, and I feel that Faction Wars was great. But, and I like the fact that it is so challenging. I know some people complain it's overtuned. I like the fact that it's going to take us a long time to farm the end game content of that. I like a challenge. And I feel like other players should too. Why do you want to get to the very, very end stages and just go back to farming again where it's just mind-numbing? I like the challenge of having to think of what do I need to do to improve my champions to get up to the next stage or two. So, with that said though, alright, so 2.5 pieces of gear for $25. Alright, so with that said, we have just for Faction Wars now, we have 12 different factions currently. Okay, well let's fix this, because really we're going to have dwarves soon as well. That's why they're running the dwarf fusion event. So 13 soon, times 5 champions minimum per group. And again, as I was stating earlier, Plarium did already explicitly state in one of the patches that the different stage bosses in Faction Wars, the stage 7, 14, and 21, are all going to have different abilities, and they will require different champions with different skill sets in order to defeat them. With that said, Plarium is expecting us to have more than the 5 minimum per group, because they're expecting us to have to change champions for certain bosses and to get past them. So this is the absolute bare minimum, and it's really below the bare minimum that they are already anticipating and what we already know we're going to have to do. Obviously, sometimes we're going to have to change, what champions we run with on the process of Faction Wars. So we have 65 total basically champions overall here that we're going to have to level up, including the dwarves that are going to be getting released, I'm sure, within the next month or two. So 65. All right. Now you have 9 pieces of gear per champion. So that's 65 times 9. That is 585 artifacts that we are going to have to max out. All right. So say each one of those 5 million coin packs is, so yeah, so each one of the coin packs is, again, $25 for 5 million for that pack that I saw, and I'm just using that as a basis here, okay? So you got 585 pieces of gear, and then you divide that by each 5 million we already saw from the other numbers, will max out 2.5 pieces of gear from 12 to 16. Now this isn't considering that extra, probably I would say at least 400,000 to 500,000 coins just to get it to level 12. Alright, so let's say just from 12 to 16. Say we already have a lot of gear that we've already gotten up to 12, so we just need to max it out from 12 to 16. Alright, so just the cost of that, to take all those 585 pieces, 2.5 for each $25 package, we're looking at $233 4 $25 packages in order to max out the gear for those champions. So 234 packages just to max the gear from 12 to 16. Multiply that by the $25 that each pack costs of 5 million coins. You are looking at $5,850 worth of coins, worth of in-game purchases in a game. A game, not even a game, an app. I wouldn't even say this is a full-blown game. $5,850 to be able to max out all the gear from our champions from, say, 12 to just from 12 to 16. All right, that's it. Now, considering it's going to be an extra, like, say, at least 400,000 to get all those pieces of gear to 12, it's going to be higher than this. It's going to be over 6,000. It's probably going to be closer to 7,000. So, I mean, that's insane. Because, I mean, you figure, like, 400, got 585 pieces of gear. Again, just to do a quick number crunch. And let's say, for the sake of argument, just say it takes 400,000 coins. All right? Per piece. So you're looking at 234 million coins to make that happen. You divide it by the 5 million coins that each package offered, and you're looking at another 46 packages. And again, you multiply that 46.8 packages, that's another $1,170 on top of that 5,850. So a more accurate number of, say, taking all of that gear for all of those champions for Faction Wars and maxing out the gear on them at best case scenario, because that 400,000 to go from level 1 to 12 is actually very generous. You're looking at $7,020 worth of in-game purchases in order to max out all the gear for all of our champions for Faction Wars. Plarium, that is enough to consider you legally insane. Like, whoever did this, whoever did those numbers, the sales, the nerf to the artifact leveling, they're clinically insane. I mean, certifiably. $7,020 to max out all the gear. I don't have anything else to say. I mean, that number there speaks for itself. And, I mean, if you feel like I did something wrong somewhere, just do the number crunching yourself. Trust me, it's right. I was a physics major. Math is pretty simple to me. And again, this is a rough estimate, but I guarantee you, I am being generous here. Because again, we were saying that was for 2 artifacts from level 12 to 16, when it was really 1 from 13 to 16 and 1 from 12 to 16. Alright, so this is actually a generous number. In all actuality, I believe it would cost over about $7,500 worth of in-game purchases for this. You guys really need to reevaluate here, because you're killing this game because people are getting sick of spending so much money. You have a really high turnover because of the fact that people are getting gouged, they know they're getting gouged, and then they go, why the hell am I going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a game that's frustrating me with horrible drop rates for, you know, legendaries? Even with sacred shards, I usually get trash food from them, and meanwhile you guys charge like about $30 per sacred shard. And then $7,000 to max out the gear, the nerfs to the gear where people are trying to level up gear for Faction Wars and they're getting frustrated that it's called, you know, they have like, you know, say 3 million coins and they're like, oh, I can max out some gear for some factions. 2 or 3 pieces of gear later, they're like, oh, I'm already out of coins. And then what do? They stop playing. They just go, well, I don't have any more coins, so I guess I'm going to stop. So, I mean, decreasing those chances, it's like, it's causing people to quit. It's causing people to leave. It's causing the people to be frustrated. The people that are staying, you're really ticking them off. I mean, again, you really need to consider these numbers and actually have somebody over there that is competent take a serious look at how much you guys are expecting people to pay for what you offer in this game. I mean, again, $7,020 just to max out the gear on all those champions. That's not considering the time to farm, like get those champions, the time to max out those champions, the time to get the masteries for the champions. I mean, that's countless hours and tons of energy as well in game. And look at how much energy costs too. I'm not even going to get into that. This is just about artifacts in this one. Just the artifacts, $7,020 for what you're expecting of us at a bare minimum. Come on, Plarium, seriously, get your act together here, because you're going to keep losing people until you start doing more reasonable prices. you need to revert that artifact leveling nerf, because all of us have noticed. My whole clan has noticed. It's been posted multiple times on the forums. It's been posted on Discord. It's been posted on other websites. I even know yet another person that used to do videos like me that stopped doing videos and explicitly stated in one of their comments that they stopped doing them since the artifact nerf. He said, I can't even max out my gear for Faction Wars. He's like, I've been playing since the game's inception. I can't even get past, like, was it like stage 13 in not only like a couple of factions or something like that. And he's like, I'm done. Like, and I like the challenge, but I do understand where he's coming from as well, where he's like, I've spent so much money on the game, and now they're expecting me to spend so much more just to be able to get through some of the middle stages of Faction Wars. So, I mean, I get it. I like the challenge, but again, you're killing it for people because you're making it too hard. Like, maybe if the coins were more reasonably priced, or you didn't do the artifact nerf, maybe he wanted to stop playing. Maybe he wouldn't have stopped making videos for you guys. But there's only so long that I can keep making videos and keep supporting the game when I know that the staff running it is extremely corrupt and gouging people. You really are. I mean, this is horrible. I mean, I have clan members that say they spend hundreds every month on this game, and yet still don't even have anything that spectacular. I mean, but again, $7,020 for the artifacts. That's all that I got to say for now, Plarium. I mean, seriously, get your act together here. Seriously. That's all. Hi guys, this is Anthony here, also known on this channel as AscendantGod. Wanted to thank you for checking out my channel here, really appreciate it. Be sure to check out the other videos. I got plenty of goodies on here. Also check out the description sections in the videos. Got plenty of links on there for all different kinds of goodies that I think would be worthwhile for you guys. If there is something in particular that you don't see on my channel that you want to see, be sure to let me know in the comment section as well. And I think that's about it. All I've got. I'm just going to get back to this thing here. I'm pretty sure if I just... Oh,
we have such sights to show you.
wow. That's really funny. Same here.